Good evening and welcome to VOP TV News at 9. I'm Kayla Abraham. First, the major stories. Federal government to reduce out-of-school children and take 39 million out of learning poverty. On Rivers State political crisis, APC says President Tinubu's move to end Wike Fubara rift has collapsed. Supreme Court to deliver judgment on Nnamdi Kanu'S trial tomorrow, Friday. On the world scene, United States fertility doctor accused of secretly impregnating patient. And in sport, FIFA pens 11 Nigerian referees, 11 assistants, and 2024 international list. Now the news in details. The federal government says the menace of out-of-school children, OSC, will be considerably reduced very soon, while 39 million children will be taken out of learning poverty as steps to achieve these objectives are being taken. Nigeria is estimated to have about 15 million out-of-school children, while learning poverty occurs when a child up to 12 years old cannot read, write, or do simple numerals. This portrays Nigeria among the nations with the largest number of out-of-school children globally. In the same vein, only 25% of children in the same age group are proficient in reading and numeracy, while 39 million children cannot read and write. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, senior advocate of Nigeria, said this in Ikeja, Lagos, today while delivering the keynote speech at the ministerial session of the 67th National Council on Education NCE meeting. The minister, who showed confidence, said with the roadmap on education developed by the President Bola Tinubu administration, the objectives were achievable in the near future. Professor Maman said the current administration of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is committed to overhauling the education sector for better results, and with the process includes developing a well-structured roadmap that lays down the building blocks that align the education system with the current socio-economic realities of the 21st century. He said the roadmap captioned education for renewed hope, especially focuses on out-of-school children, girl child, skills, and entrepreneurship education. The Minister of Education also gave the assurance that technical and vocational education would be given pride of place in the scheme of things so as to produce needed manpower for the country. In his address, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the Commissioner for Primary and Basic Education, Honorable Jamiu Ali Balogun, said the state had made tremendous progress in the education sector and that the various initiatives were yielding positive results. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has sacked all the directors under 5 agencies of the ministry. This coming a few hours after the sack of the chief executive officers of the same agencies by President Bola Tinubu. In a statement signed by Odutayo Oluseyi, the minister explained the shake-up is aimed to reposition the aviation industry and ensure safety and efficient air travel experience by Nigerians. According to the statement, the minister disclosed in line with the renewed hope agenda of President, he is directed to inform all directors of the following agencies that they have been relieved of their appointment forthwith and should hand over to the most senior officer in their various directorates with immediate effect. The directors of the affected agencies are that of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and the Nigerian Safety and Investigation Bureau, NSIB. The statement also informed all the agencies' board secretaries and legal advisors that they are not affected by this directive. The Lagos State government, through the State Environmental Protection Agency, LASAPA, has issued a stern warning to worship centers to desist from running foul of noise pollution, particularly during the festive period, or face the consequences accordingly. The state government maintained that noise emanating from worship places across the state should be minimized, considering its impact on public health. General Manager LASAPA, Dr. Babatunde Ajayi, gave the warning at a stakeholders meeting with leadership and members of religious organizations organizations at Alausa Ikeja today. According to Mr. Ajayi, the meeting is aimed at fostering collaboration and dialogue between the agency and religious leaders to address the issues surrounding noise pollution and its impact on community well-being. The LASEPA boss said the importance of collective effort in finding lasting solutions to the issue of noise from the worship places needed the support of religious leaders to balance freedom of religion with community well-being. He highlighted the importance of religious organizations adhering to government regulations and principles and achieving the vision for a noiseless Lagos that would benefit the general public. The LASEPA general manager, while stressing the need for religious centers to use soundproof certified by sound engineers, urged them to equip their facilities with noise meters to enable them to monitor noise levels within their premises during congregation. He also noted that government acknowledged the role of religion in human life, therefore expressed confidence that a resolution beneficial to all parties can be achieved through collaborative efforts and a determination for a better and healthier society. Up next, update on Rivers State political crisis. These and more stories after the break.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
To political stories. As the political crisis in Rivers State continues in its never-ending stage, two State Executive Council SEC and loyalists to Nyesom Wike have announced their resignation from the Governor Siminalayi Fubara government this afternoon. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Zacchaeus Adango, and that of Special Project Chief Emeka Nwoke announced their decision this afternoon in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. While Adango, whose letter of resignation is now a public document, pleaded personal reasons for his action. Nwoke's letter is yet to be seen, nor has he made the reason for his resignation public. Both are also members of the kitchen cabinet of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, whose disagreement with his political son, Governor Fubara, is behind the political fire currently threatening to incinerate Rivers State. They were also among the first commissioners appointed by Governor Fubara, who was believed to have made the appointment in Wike's instructions. Though none of them has in any way been mentioned in the ongoing crisis, it must not be unconnected to the expression of their loyalty to Wike, whom they served for Emeka Nwoke 8 years as Chief of Staff, Government House, and Adango for a better half of the Wike's 8 years. Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by factional Speaker Martin Amawule, at its 88th legislative sitting, has passed the Rivers State House of Assembly Funds Management Bill 2023. The 25 lawmaker loyal to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, met at the auditorium of the House of Assembly quarters on Aba Road, Port Harcourt. The House passed the bill after debating on the report of the House Committee on Public Account on the bill. The lawmakers also condemned the demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly building by the state government, adding that they were being attacked by the state governor Siminalayi Fubara. In another development, the caretaker committee chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Sir Tony Okocha, has stated that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's move to end the rift between the state governor Simi Fubara and the FCT minister Nyesom Wike has collapsed as crisis in the state continues to fester. Recall that Tinubu recently held a meeting with Wike and Governor Fubara at the presidential villa in Abuja to broker peace between the two politicians in the state. However, in the last 4 days, days, the crisis assumed a new dimension with the demolition of the State House of Assembly complex and defection of 27 members of the Assembly loyal to Wike to the APC. The APC Caretaker Committee chairman said this while addressing a press conference at the APC National Secretariat today in Abuja following the developments in the state, including the peace move by President Tinubu and the strained relationship between Governor Fubara and Mr. Wike. The acting governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has urged the people of the state to remember his ailing principle and the governor of the state, Rotimi Akeredolu, in their prayers. Mr. Aiyedatiwa made this plea during a state broadcast on the assumption of office as acting governor of Ondo State today. Governor Akeredolu, who went on medical leave on Wednesday, had officially handed power over to his deputy, Aiyedatiwa. The acting governor in his statewide address also urged the people of the state to embrace unity even as they return the state to the path of accelerated progress, while encouraging the people not to relent as they have always done in their prayers for the quick restoration of good health and strength to their leader, Akeredolu. He called on residents of the state to embrace peace and unity to allow for development in the southwestern state. Aiyedatiwa said everyone must excuse unnecessary distraction and no longer be separated in interest or divided in purpose, but must stand together until the end. He stated further that everyone must come back stronger and more determined to advance the welfare and security of the people, being the primary object of government and as encapsulated in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The Ondo State acting governor added that everyone must build a shared future from a divided past as government owe no less to the good people of Sunshine State. Up next, Nigeria police authorities say filming policemen on duty is not a crime. These and more stories after the break.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
The governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Abiodun Oyebanji, has directed security agencies in the state to fish out the perpetrators of Wednesday's bank robbery in Ikere-Ekiti and bring them to the book. The governor, who described the armed robbery incidents, which claimed 3 lives, as senseless and disheartening, said no stone would be left unturned in the bid to make the criminals to face the guilt wrath of the law. Governor Oyebanji condoled with families of victims of the robbery, the Ikere-Ekiti Traditional Council, and the people of Ikere-Ekiti. The governor, who visited the scene of the robbery incident, also directed government hospitals in the state to take proper care of those that got injured during the robbery attack. Governor Oyebanji, who was represented by his deputy chief Monisola Afuye, stressed the importance of local vigilance in security, while he urged citizens who have information that can help security agencies in their investigations to make such known to relevant authorities. Meanwhile, the Ekiti State Police Command says it has recovered 2 vehicles and a motorcycle used by the fleeing armed robbers that attacked 2 commercial banks in Ikere-Ekiti on Wednesday afternoon. In a statement by signed the command's police Relations Officer DSP Sunday Abutu, the armed robbers abandoned the vehicles and motorcycle and fled after a hot chase by teams of police on the army. The statement disclosed that the State Commissioner of Police, Dare Ogundare, has ordered a full-scale investigation into the armed robbery incident. DSP Abutu in the statement noted that CP Ogundare, who was at the scene of the incident for an the sport assessment, expressed his displeasure over the ugly incident and directed the Ikere area commander and all the tactical teams within the command to ensure that the perpetrators are trailed, arrested and brought to book. The Commissioner of Police calls for calm and implores everyone to go about their lawful businesses, as the Ekiti State Police Command will not rest until the hoodlums are made to face the full wrath of the law. The Nigeria Police Force has confirmed that citizens have the right to record videos of policemen while they are on duty. This was revealed by the force spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner of Police Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in response to an ex-user who claimed he was extorted by police officers for recording them during a stop and search actions. The ex-user wrote that Is it a crime to video during stop and search because I had to pay 10,000 naira for those officers to give me back my phone after taking it forcefully from me just now? End quote. In response to his question, ACP Adejobi stated that filming or snapping police officers on duty is not an offense. The first public relations officer wrote that one can take videos, pictures of policemen on duty. We have said it severally, and there's nothing wrong with that. ACP Adejobi advised further that the complainant can take up the case by sending an SMS to them or the mailbox. The Supreme Court will deliver judgment in the appeals filed by the federal government and the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, tomorrow, Friday. Recall that a 5-member panel of the court, headed by Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, had chosen October 5 after lawyer to the federal government Tijani Ghazali, senior advocate of Nigeria, and counsel to Kanu Chief Mike Ozekome, senior advocate of Nigeria, made final submissions. The federal government praised the court to set aside an earlier judgment by the Court of Appeal, which quashed the treasonable felony charge against Kanu and ordered his release on the grounds that he was unlawfully brought back to the country after he jumped bail. Kanu wants the Supreme Court to allow the judgment of the Court to appeal and uphold his discharge and acquittal. Mr. Ghazali, senior advocate of Nigeria, urged the Apex Court to allow the appeal set aside the judgment of the court below and affirm the judgment of the trial court, a federal high court, to the effect that the respondent should stand trial in respect of the charge, which the court below quashed. Mr. Ghazali further urged the court to dismiss the cross appeal filed by Kanu. On his part, Chief Ozekome, senior advocate of Nigeria, urged the court to dismiss the appeal filed by the federal government with punitive cost and uphold the cross appeal in order to do substantial justice to this matter. He urged the court to allow the cross appeal filed by his client. Chief Ozekome told the court that his client has been in custody since June 29, 2021, even when the lower court had ordered his release. Up next, international and sport news. Stay with us.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP This Morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
The ECOWAS Court of Justice has dismissed a suit by Nigerian Richard Ugba, asking the court to order the United States of America government to allow him to complete his jail sentence in Nigeria. Ugba is serving a 12-year jail term in the United States of America after he was convicted on February 14, 2017 of wire fraud. He has served 8 years of the sentence and is due for release on May 8, 2026. In the suit marked ECW-CCJ CJAPP 1821, Ugba urged the court to issue the order having satisfied the conditions for transfer in the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Handbook on the international transfer of sentenced prison. However, in a preliminary objection filed by the first respondent, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it contended that the application was incompetent and against the provision of Articles 9 and 10 of Article Supplementary Protocol. An American suspected of faking his own death and hiding out in Scotland has lost an appeal against his extradition. U.S. prosecutors want Nicholas Rossi returned to his homeland to face rape charges in the state of Utah. Throughout the 2-year legal process, Rossi, who continues to insist he is actually Arthur Knight, has claimed to be the victim of mistaken identity. Justice Secretary Angela Constance signed an order granting Rossi's extradition in September. Last week, he represented himself during a 5-hour appeal hearing before a panel of 3 senior judges. They have now issued a ruling that upheld the findings of the sheriff in the case. It's concluded that nothing placed before the court demonstrates that any trial in Utah will be either unfair or that any of his other human rights will be violated if extradited. Rossi, 36-year-old, was being treated for COVID when he was arrested at the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital in Glasgow on 13 December 2021. He had claimed to have been the victim of mistaken identity and insisted he was an orphan from Ireland called Arthur Knight and that he had never been to the US. A fertility doctor and former Harvard Medical School professor Dr. Merle Berger has been accused by one of his age-long patients, Sarah Depion, 73 years old, of using her sperm to impregnate her without consent. Depion said she and her husband first went to see the fertility doctor in 1979 to discuss the intrauterine insemination, adding that Dr. Berger told her the sperm would come from an anonymous donor who resembled her husband, who did not know her and whom she did not know. The process, according to a lawsuit reported by Sky News Today, noted that Depion said the home DNA test suggested otherwise. The female patient lamented that Dr. Berger had betrayed this trust she and her husband had in him, saying they fully trusted Dr. Berger, and it is hard to imagine not trusting their own doctor. The report added that Berger is the founder of one of the largest fertility clinics in Boston, United States. Intrauterine insemination is an artificial procedure used to treat infertility issues by increasing a woman's chances of getting pregnant. The World Health Organization, WHO, is accusing the tobacco industry of spreading misinformation and deliberately recruiting children when marketing e-cigarettes. WHO said in Geneva today that the industry funds and promotes false evidence to argue that these products reduce harm. The UN agency therefore called for stricter regulations for such products. It wants countries to make e-cigarettes less attractive by banning flavors, reducing the nicotine content, and levying taxes on the products. E-cigarettes are advertised by tobacco companies as nicotine products that can reduce health risks compared to conventional cigarettes. The WHO points out that the use of electronic nicotine vaporizers also produces toxic substances that can cause cancer and increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. In addition, unborn children could be harmed in the womb, and the mental development of underage consumers could be impaired. The organization said children ages 13 to 15 are using e-cigarettes at higher rates than adults in all WHO regions. Now in sports, a World Football governing body, FIFA, has approved a total of 30 Nigerian referees to be placed on the international duty list for the year 2024. These comprise 11 referees, 11 assistant referees, 4 beach soccer referees, and 4 futsal referees. This is contained in a statement by Ademola Olajire, Director of Communications at the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) today in Abuja. To end the VOP TV News at 9, these are the major stories we have read earlier. Federal government to reduce out-of-school children and take 39 million out of learning poverty. On Rivers State political crisis, APC says President Tinubu's move to end Wike-Fubara rift has collapsed. Supreme Court to deliver judgment on Nnamdi Kanu'S trial tomorrow, Friday. On the world scene, United States fertility doctor accused of secretly impregnating patient. And in sport, FIFA pens 11 Nigerian referees, 11 assistants on 2024 international list. You can watch us on VOP TV Live on YouTube and on all our social media handles on Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok. It's at VOP TV Live. That's the end of VOP TV News at 9. I'm Kayla Abraham. Good evening.